Leaders face an endless list of expectations. They're expected to be effective, reliable, honest, and respectable. While these responsibilities are important, the challenge of maintaining integrity as a leader is arguably the most crucial. Integrity is one of the most valued qualities of a leader and is often a determining factor in their success or failure. In this video, we will discuss the challenges associated with maintaining integrity in leadership and the importance of upholding it. How do we define integrity in leadership? We define integrity in leadership as the combination of values, beliefs, and principles that guide a leader's decisions and actions. It requires them to remain consistent and honest, even when faced with tough decisions. Leaders must always strive to maintain integrity by adhering to their core values, believing in themselves and those they lead, and setting an example for others to follow. Why is integrity important in leadership? Integrity is essential for leadership. It establishes trust between the leader and their team, creates a strong organizational culture, and sets the standard for ethical behavior. It also helps leaders to remain focused on reaching their goals and maintaining an ethical approach to problem solving. Leaders must remember that integrity is not only important within their organization, but also in their personal and professional life. Leaders who model integrity create a firm foundation for effective leadership, inspire trust in those they lead, and build credibility within their peer group. What are the challenges of maintaining integrity? Despite the importance of integrity, it can be challenging for leaders to maintain their integrity in the face of pressure from others. For example, it may tempt a leader to take shortcuts in order to achieve the results more quickly. Additionally, a leader may face hard decisions that could potentially compromise their values. Leaders must be aware of these challenges and be prepared to face them head-on in order to maintain their integrity. I have identified 5 major challenges of maintaining integrity in leadership and how to solve them. The challenge of maintaining personal integrity. One challenge of maintaining integrity in leadership is maintaining personal integrity. This can be difficult because leaders are often under a great deal of pressure to make decisions that will benefit their company or their teams. It may also tempt leaders to take actions that will personally benefit them, even if those actions are not in the best interest of their people or organization. Maintaining personal integrity in leadership is essential to being an effective and respected leader. By having the courage to stand up for what is right and having a strong moral compass, a leader can inspire and motivate their team to do the same. The first step to maintaining personal integrity in leadership is to be honest and consistent with your values and beliefs. Leaders should speak up when they witness wrongdoings and take a stand for what is right. They should also strive to be reliable by following through with their promises and making sure their team knows they trust and respect them. This will help create an atmosphere of trust within the team and will encourage them to act with integrity in their own work. The second step to maintaining personal integrity is to practice humility. It's important to recognize the strengths and weaknesses of yourself and your team, and to be open to feedback and constructive criticism. As a leader, you should be willing to learn from your mistakes and take responsibility for them. It is also important to show respect to everyone in every situation, regardless of their position. The last step to maintaining personal integrity is to be accountable for your actions. As a leader, you must take ownership of your decisions and be willing to accept the consequences that come with them. You should also practice transparency in all your actions and make sure that you communicate effectively with your team. By taking these steps, leaders can ensure that they are practicing personal integrity in their leadership style. It's also important that leaders embody integrity and use it as a driving force in their leadership, as it will serve to inspire others and create a culture of trust and respect. The challenges of maintaining organizational integrity. Another challenge of maintaining integrity in leadership is maintaining organizational integrity. This can be difficult because organizations are often complex systems with many different stakeholders. Leaders may be tempted to take actions that will benefit one stakeholder group at the expense of another. For example, it may tempt leader to cut costs by laying off employees, even if doing so will negatively affect the ability of the entire company to affect the quality of the product or services that they are providing. Maintaining organizational integrity requires leaders to act in a way that is fair to all stakeholders and that considers long-term, especially the impact of their decisions. To ensure organizational integrity in leadership, here are two key strategies. Number one, create a culture of transparency. Leaders should ensure that information is kept open and accessible to everyone in the organization. This fosters a culture of transparency and trust, which is essential to maintaining organizational integrity. Leaders should also make sure that they clearly communicate any decisions and actions taken throughout the organization. Number two, establish and implement guidelines. Leaders should establish guidelines that clearly address expected behaviors and any potential ethical issues that may arise. This helps to ensure that employees know what leaders expect of them, so they don't have to guess or potentially violate the code of conduct. Leaders should also implement these guidelines so that employees understand that their actions have certain consequences. By following these strategies, leaders can maintain organizational integrity and ensure that their people and the organization are held to the highest standard of ethical conduct. The challenge of communicating with integrity. The third challenge of maintaining integrity in leadership is communicating with integrity. This can be difficult because leaders often have to communicate with people who have different values and beliefs than they do. It may also tempt leaders to say things that are not true in order to gain the trust or support of others. The first step in communicating with integrity in leadership is to be honest. Honesty is a cornerstone of effective communication, and it shows integrity in leadership. This means being truthful about important business matters, accurately presenting facts and data when communicating, and being clear and direct in one's communication. It also means being upfront about any mistakes or challenges that have occurred and taking responsibility for them instead of blaming others. The second step to communicating with integrity in leadership is to be respectful. Respectful communication builds trust and credibility and shows genuine care for those you are communicating with. This means being professional, courteous, and civil even in tough conversations. It also means thinking about how your communication will affect those you are speaking with and making sure your words are not dismissive, condescending, or hurtful. By communicating with integrity, leaders can help build trust and loyalty among their team, which will lead to greater collaboration and improved decision making. The challenge of dealing with conflict with integrity. Dealing with conflict with integrity can be a difficult but rewarding challenge. Integrity is an important factor in any situation, and when dealing with conflict, it is essential to choose words and actions that are true to your values. This can be a difficult balance to strike, as we may be feeling attacked, angry, or hurt in the moment. We may want to lash out or withdraw, but it is important to remember that having integrity does not mean being a doormat and allowing ourselves to be disrespected or to stay in negative interactions. The first step in dealing with conflict with integrity is to take ownership of how we are feeling and expressing it in a healthy way. We should strive to act in a way that is authentic and respects our own needs and the needs of the other person. We may need to first take a moment to cool off and collect ourselves so that we can respond in a way that is productive and non-confrontational. This will allow us to approach the situation in a way that is respectful and clear. For the second step, we should strive to be open to understanding the other people's point of view, even if we don't agree with it. We should be willing to listen without judgment and consider the perspective of the other person, allowing us to better understand the situation and come to an agreement that is beneficial to both parties. Keeping an open dialogue and being willing to compromise can be the key to dealing with conflict with integrity. Doing our best to remain calm, respectful, and open to other perspectives will allow us to resolve conflict in a way that is in line with our values. The challenge with overcoming pressure from others with integrity. Maintaining your integrity in the face of peer pressure or pressure from others can be one of the greatest challenges in life. It's difficult to stand up for what you believe in when everyone around you is encouraging you to do something else. It takes a lot of courage and strength of character to be able to resist the influence and make a decision that is best for you and your moral compass. It is also important to be able to respond to this pressure with integrity and not just react in the heat of the moment. Here are some tips for you to handle pressure with integrity in leadership. First, it's important to recognize that maintaining integrity is paramount and must be upheld no matter what the pressure. When faced with a tough situation, it's crucial to remain calm and evaluate the situation objectively. By maintaining composure and taking a step back, it's easier to decide based on the ethical principles rather than the emotions. It's also essential to keep communication open so that all parties feel heard and respected. Second, it may be beneficial to surround yourself with people who can offer guidance in sticky situations. Having a good team of people with you to provide support and perspective can help you stay on the right path. As a leader, you should be able to be open to feedback from those around you so that you can stay on top of the situation. Finally, it's important to stay true to yourself and never compromise your values simply to please others. Integrity makes a leader successful, so by keeping your focus on it, you can continue to make best decisions that are essential for the team. It's also important to keep in mind that not everyone will agree with your decisions, but by staying true to yourself and your values, you'll be able to make the most out of any situation. Overall, handling pressure with integrity is essential in order to be an effective leader. By recognizing the importance of staying true to your values, staying calm, staying open to feedback, and having a strong support, you can remain accountable and handle pressure with integrity. You can overcome challenges of maintaining integrity. Maintaining integrity in leadership is critical in establishing trust, accountability, and respect. Leaders must remain true to their principles and values, communicate effectively, and be transparent in their decisions to ensure the integrity of their leadership is intact. In order to meet these challenges, effective leaders must be willing to make hard choices, learn from mistakes, and create an environment of trust and respect. Ultimately, maintaining integrity in leadership is the foundation for creating a successful, ethical organization that is seen as a model of good leadership. Take the first step in being a fearless leader and leading with integrity by watching this video. In it, I share how to overcome fears associated with leadership and how you can become the leader you were meant to be.